Hey everyone, today we're going to be dividing rational expressions. Rational expressions are just like, dividing rational expressions are just like multiplying rational expressions, except we have to flip that second fraction and then we're going to multiply instead of divide. So let's look at our first few examples. All right, so we're going to have A divided by B divided by C over D. So we're going to keep this first term. So we're going to have A over B. Then we're going to change division to multiplication. So this is our change. And then we're going to flip that second fraction. So flip D over C and then multiply. A times D is AD. B times C is BC. So keep, change, flip. So the first thing we need to do is there's a multiplication sign in between those two fractions. Go ahead and change that to division. And then we're going to write our equation. 5x over 3x minus 12. And then times, we're going to change division to multiplication. And then now we're going to flip that fraction. So x squared minus 6x over 8 divided by x squared minus 2x. Okay, now we're going to factor like we did yesterday. So keep that 5x the same over 3x and 12 have a 3 in common. So I'm left with x minus 4 times. Now I have to factor that numerator. I need two numbers that multiply to give me positive 8, but add to give me negative 6. So x minus 4. X minus 2, negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. And then in my denominator, I'm going to factor out an x. So then I'm left with x minus 2. Cross out what we have that are the same. So I'm going to cross out that x minus 4, x minus 4. I'm going to cross out an x minus 2 and x minus 2. And then I'm going to cross out these x's right here. And I am left with 5 over 3. Alrighty, so let's continue doing that same process for example 2. So again, we need to change that multiplication to division right there. So the first thing I'm going to do is write my first equation. So 6x squared plus 7x minus 3 over 6x squared. Again, this would be over 1, so I'm going to say 1 over 2x squared plus 3x. Now I need to factor, and to factor, I'm going to do a little bit of side work over here. So 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. I'm going to multiply 6 times 3, so x squared plus 7x minus 18. And then factor. I need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 18, but add to give me positive 7. So positive 9 minus 2. 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. 9 minus 2 is 7. And remember, when you multiply that term by that last term, then you have to divide by that 6. Okay, we need to reduce our fraction. So I'm going to reduce it. X plus 3 over 2. And then x minus 1/3. Okay, remember we have fractions, so it has to be brought to the front. So my final factors are 2x plus 3 and then 3x minus 1. So I'm going to rewrite that numerator as 2x plus 3 times 3x minus 1. There's nothing I can do with my denominator, so it's just 6x squared times, there's nothing I can do with my numerator because it's just 1. And here I need to factor out an x. If I factor out an x, I'm left with 2x plus 3. Now we're going to cancel what we have in common. I have a 2x plus 3 in the numerator, a 2x plus 3 in the denominator, and that's it. So then I need to multiply 3x minus 1 times 1. It's just going to give me 3x minus 1 over 6x squared times x. It's going to give me 6x cubed. And that would be my final answer. So there's not much difference here. Okay, and the next example, we haven't really changed anything. So this is the exact same numerator. So I'm not going to refactor it. I'm just going to put those numbers back in. So 2x plus 3 times 3x minus 1 over x minus 1. Remember to change that to division to start with. So 3x over 1 multiply, and then flip that second fraction. 1 over 3x minus 1. Cancel what I have that is alike. I have a 3x minus 1 in the numerator, and I have a 3x minus 1 in the denominator, and then that's all I can cancel. So 2x plus 3 times 1 is just 2x plus 3 over x minus 1 is just x minus 1. So basically the same thing we did yesterday. We're still multiplying, we're still factoring, simplifying, and then multiplying what's left over. But this time, instead of just simplifying first, we have to flip that second fraction and then start our simplifying process. All right, let's go to the next examples. So this says a complex fraction is a fraction that contains a fraction in its numerator and in the denominator. So numerator and or in the denominator. Okay, so write the numerator and the denominator as separate fractions. And then we're going to use our keep, change, flip process. Okay, so A is pretty much the same. We're going to keep it. We're going to change it. And we're going to flip it. Just like we did earlier. So we're going to keep 6 over xy the same. I'm going to change that division sign to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip that fraction. 8x cubed over 3y. Now I'm going to cancel what I can. So I have 1x in the denominator and I have 3 x's in the numerator. So 3 minus 1 is 2. And then I can simplify that 3 and 6. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now I'm just going to multiply. 2 times 8 is 16. And then there's nothing else to simplify that x with, so I get x squared over y times y, which is y squared. Okay, so B is going to be the same way. We're going to keep it, change it, flip it. So I'm going to keep 18p over 8p minus 2 times 4p minus 1 over 4p squared. Okay, so the only thing I'm seeing that I can factor is I'm going to pull a 2 out of my denominator. So 18p over 2, if I take a 2 out of 4p minus 2, 8p minus 2, I'm going to have 4p minus 1 times 4p minus 1 over 4p squared. All right, so 4p minus 1, I have 1 in the top and in the bottom. I can say 18 divided by 2 and get 9. And then I have 1p in my numerator and 2 in my denominator, so I can get rid of that one of those p's as well. So the only thing left in my numerator is a 9. And the only thing I have left in my denominator is this 4p, so 4p. Again, it's the same thing as yesterday, except we're flipping that fraction, but we're still factoring. All right, let's look at our other examples. So I think your handout actually has a little bit extra on that fraction. Cross out what was ever is on to the right side, and we just want 2 over x plus 2 divided by 1 over x plus 2. So again, we're going to keep it, change it, flip it. So keep it 2 over x plus 2, change it to multiplication, flip it, x plus 2 over 1. Cross out what we have that's like. I have an x plus 2 in the numerator and x plus 2 in the denominator. And then all I'm left with is 2 over 1. So pretty simple here. Same thing with b. If you have something that's over here in this section, just cross it out. I just want 1 over pq divided by 1 over p. Again, we're going to keep, change, and flip. So the same thing is happening over and over again. So I'm going to keep 1 over pq times, and I'm going to change that to multiplication. And I'm going to flip that second fraction, p over 1 equals, cross out what I have that's alike. I have 1p in the denominator and 1p in the numerator. So I'm just left with 1 times, basically this would turn into a 1, so 1, and then q times 1 is just q. So these are a little bit easier than yesterday's because the fractions themselves and the problems themselves are a little bit easier. There's not as much to factor. All right, let's look at our last example. So again, if you have something to this side, which I think you all do on your handout, just cross that section out. We only want x minus 3 divided by x minus 4, and then divided by 1 over x minus 4 as well. So we're going to go back to keep it, change it, and flip it. So keep it would be 3 over x minus 4, change division to multiplication, and then flip that second fraction, x minus 4 over 1. Cancel what they have in common. I see an x minus 4 in the numerator and an x minus 4 in the denominator, and so all I'm left with is 3 over 1. And that should be it, guys. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. Your homework for tonight is all of them. So we're going to go to the worksheet page. Make sure that you do all the ones on the back page. That would be 11, 12, 13, 14, and then there's another 13 and 14 again. It's just because we copied and pasted numbers. So make sure that you factor, first flip, then factor, and simplify. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.